What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back into another video. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the topic of uvulitis and my experience with it. But before I do that, don't forget to always like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it if you can with family and friends. And for everyone who's been watching, I appreciate you and appreciate all the love. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Believe it or not, this is my third to fourth time suffering from uvulitis. And I believe there is a reason, I believe there is a cause, but this time around, it was a little bit more excessive than I would have liked. And let me explain to you what happened. So, about a week or so ago, I decided to go out with a friend, and I was actually in Maryland, and I ate some dessert, right? It had like I think it was like almonds or something like that or whatever, but it was like a brownie fudge with ice cream and a couple of nuts or whatever and whatnot. So I ate that pretty late, and as some of you guys know, I suffer from acid reflux. So it was a little bit too late than I would have liked, but regardless, it was good. The dessert was good. And when I went to sleep, I was so tired that I forgot to, stretch my diaphragm. I forgot to just, kind of drink some water so the acid reflux or whatever wouldn't affect me too much. But regardless, I fell asleep, and that was around 12 to 1 a.m. And I woke up around 3 to 4 a.m. with my uvula inflamed, like it was swollen, and I was like, oh my god, here we go again. But this time around it was very swollen, and it's not just a swollen part, but it's long. Like it looked like when you chew like a piece of bubble gum. I think this is the best way I can explain it. Like a piece of bubble gum, and you kind of just pull it and stretch it. It was similar to that, and of course, it was touching my tongue. And if I laid flat and tried to just rest a little bit, I could. It was hard for me to breathe because the uvula was in the way, and I could just feel that it was in the way. Now, I believe that this is caused every now and then by my snoring, and because it doesn't happen often, and when it does, it's very rare. It could be maybe once a year, twice a year. It depends, right? And I mean, I've been having this since I was like 21, but it was like it's just very rare. It's nothing I get every other week, once a month. None of that stuff. It's just every now and then. So my first thoughts were, okay, maybe it could be the acid, right? It could be that the acid went all the way to the back of my throat, or I guess my gastric juices, I should say, and that could have caused something. I was like, I don't know. I highly doubt that because I've had acid episodes before, and my uvula has not gotten like that, right? And then I thought about my snoring. I always feel like it could be my snoring. Maybe it's the way I lay my head sometimes or the way I sleep, but I just don't know what pose or the way I put my head either left, right, up, down. I don't know. I don't know what's causing, if it is my snoring, the inflammation, right? And maybe it's the when I snore, when I'm sleeping, that my body needs so much air that it's pulling my uvula and is causing it to get swollen, which could be the case. So, in that sense, that led to sleep apnea. And I was like, ooh, that could be interesting. I, but sleep apnea, I feel like I'm not sure if that's something that would be, I don't feel like I wake up in the middle of the night, trying to like gasp for air sometimes, or I guess the symptoms that I saw online kind of didn't lead me too much to sleep apnea, but who knows? It could be the case. I think I read what I read was like obstructive sleep apnea. And I was like, interested. Okay, maybe. So I went to see an ENT, and I told them what happened. I told them what's going on. We talked about an allergic reaction, but he didn't think it was an allergic reaction because the fact that only my uvula got swollen and not anything around, like maybe my throat, my lips, my tongue, or the things around your uvula, around my mouth, didn't get swollen. It was just my uvula. Now, could there be some cases? He was like, yeah, but it's very rare. And from what you're telling me, it didn't sound like an allergy. And I'm typically, from what I know, I'm not allergic to nuts. I'm not. I don't even know what. I don't think I'm allergic to anything, even though I think I am. Not exactly what though, because I've gotten bad episodes of allergic reactions, but like again, this only happens once, like every 8 years, every 10 years, which is very rare. So anything that I do in my regular daily life, I don't feel like it's an allergic reaction. So we kind of ruled that out. And then, we talked about an infection, which I don't think it was an infection either, because I didn't get signs of an infection, fever or anything like that. And again, everything around my uvula, my throat, my mouth didn't. I didn't have any other symptoms, but that I was able to breathe just fine, except I felt like that day, the following day, I was feeling very off. I just felt like maybe I was overthinking what was going on, but the uvula remained pretty big. Like it was still touching my tongue, 2 days in, even afterwards. Plus, if it is my snoring, this is the dilemma, right? I need to sleep. So if my uvula is still, inflamed or swollen, well, when I sleep again and I snore again, it's probably going to be affected again. So it took several days for it to go down kind of back to normal, even though I think my uvula is still a little bit big. But maybe it could be because of my snoring, it could be something along those lines. And this is where I'm at. I'm trying to figure out what's causing uh, that every now and then. Now, it's a major concern for me. No, not really, because again, it only happens sometimes. But then again, I just, in my eyes, I don't want it to get worse. I don't want this to be something that becomes, even farther where I do start having obstructive sleep apnea. You know what I mean? Because I've actually felt that when it's inflamed, when it's inflamed and swollen, I felt like, it was hard for me to breathe. It's hard for me to sleep. So I had to sleep on my side. I already do sleep on my side, but I definitely have to sleep on my side now because if I lay it flat by any chance, I could feel like it was getting in the way of my breathing, which was very, very scary. And especially at that time, I didn't know if I had an allergic reaction. So I was like, what if at night I start having, breathing problems and I can't breathe? That was that's a tough night. And then I'm suffering from the acid and stuff. And it just makes everything in your throat so much worse. It like enhances it 10 times. So that was just like, it's just a very scary thing. So that's the reason I went to the ENT, just to make sure I ruled a couple things. I've had, by the way, allergic testings before for my skin and also for like typical foods that people would typically be allergic to. And I didn't have any allergic reaction to any of those, which is a blessing. But people do develop allergic reactions over time and over their lifespan. So I never ruled out a possibility. I just really hope it's not an allergic reaction, especially in my throat, especially in my mouth, because then that's where my health anxiety would go crazy because of the breathing. Sometimes I feel like it's hard to breathe with my gastro issues. And sometimes my chest is already tight and uncomfortable because of, all the trauma that I suffer from. So that is definitely something that I don't want. And it's gotten better. Maybe it was the snoring. And now for me, it's trying to kind of maybe catch some trends or patterns of how I'm sleeping. What am I doing before sleeping? And typically, if I keep a good routine, it doesn't bother me, at all. But I don't know why this time around. And you know what's crazy? It's happened to me 2 or 3 times when I've gone to my family's house. So maybe it's something in the AC that I'm breathing that's making it get swollen. Who knows? Maybe it's the air. I don't know. I don't know what to think. If you guys have any ideas, I would love to hear your opinion on what's going on because I've ruled certain things out. But I love to get you guys' opinions if you've suffered from this or if you're dealing with this. I want to know what is it that you're going through, or what have you experienced. Maybe you've suffered something similar as mine and you found a way as to what it could be. But the sleep apnea is something that I feel like apnea, I should say. I feel like it's something that I definitely need to be on the lookout, and that's what I'm looking at right now, trying to figure out what are the patterns, what are the symptoms, see if it's actually bothering me when I sleep. But I asked the doctor, I was like, well, when should I be concerned? Like, when should I come back and feel like, the ENT, I asked him, I was like, when should I feel like I need to come back to make sure and do the testings, right? But at the moment, he doesn't think that I really need, a testing right now. But if it gets worse, of course, I'm gonna need to start looking at that and maybe getting a sleep test or something. Hopefully, it doesn't get to that point because I do look out after my health pretty well. But I have been snoring for a while, for years now. So I thought snoring was a normal thing, by the way. But I don't think it's not. I don't think it's a normal thing. I think you're not supposed to snore, from my understanding. Um, from what I understand, when you're snoring, your body is kind of trying to, forcing more air into your lungs because there is like something obstructing it, um, or something that's bothering it that's, preventing some air from letting into your lungs and stuff. So, some of the symptoms that I heard, if you have like suffering from sleep apnea, it's like if you're always waking up tired, or fatigued, or waking up in the middle of the night and things like that. So I'm watching out for that and see what that is. But of course, if you guys have anything for me or like want to share any experiences, that would be great because I would like to know, just kind of catch that trend and making sure it's nothing crazy or nothing major. If I do feel like it's more allergic in the side of allergic things, I might go with getting a test done to see if I have any allergic reactions. I've gotten it done before, so again, I feel like it wasn't like a super in depth test, but it was something that was, for like the basic in a lot of the like the trees stuff and the air, whatever it's called, all that stuff. I got in that. So it was a skin test and everything came out well. But yeah, that's another struggle that I'm going through. I feel much better now if everything's gotten so much better. So nothing crazy, but I did want to share my experience and making sure that you guys, keep you guys updated with my journey. And if you have suffering again from something similar, let me know. Let me know what you've done, maybe what helps you. I would love to get some advice. That's always pretty cool. So I appreciate you guys, and that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You can always give thanks as well. If you feel like I need, you want to support the channel, show some love. Eventually, I'm coming out with more new things. I want to start like my own little brand of my name, and hopefully get some products out there for you guys, so you guys can support the channel that way. So that's it. That's it for you guys today. So I appreciate the love. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next one, and take care of each other. Take care of yourself. Peace and love, baby. Bye.